Hello sports fans, Coach Carroll here with Sports Banner 38, and this will be my last video before I'm actually moved into our cabin, which we'll be doing tomorrow night and through this weekend. Hopefully we'll get pretty much everything done tomorrow night, going into Saturday morning, afternoonish sorta. And what this video is for is basically for Tennessee Vol fans in regards to Jeremy Pruitt. I know this past weekend looked horrible against Florida, in which they lost 47-20. It wasn't pretty by any means. As a VOLS fan myself, I was absolutely disgruntled, upset. I say upset, but at the same time, I didn't have a whole lot of expectations going into this season anyway. But VOLS Nation, as usual, have basically reacted the way they typically react. There's a high percentage of people saying, "Oh, he's not any good. Jeremy Pruitt is not the man. He's not the guy for the job. He needs to go after 4 games," which pretty much shows the average knowledge when it comes to sports, not just football, but in general. When it comes to sports and things like this, they do not understand that these things take time, and they're overreacting over one game. And I know they look bad against West Virginia, but you know what? West Virginia is a pretty darn good football team, although not traditionally. The 2018 rendition of the West Virginia Mountaineers in football is a pretty good football team, and they are knocking on the door for the top 10 right now. And if they win this week with 1 or 2 other losses that might happen, then they could very well break their way into the top 10. They are a pretty good football team. Florida, on the other hand, is not that great. Now, are they better than Tennessee? Well, they just beat them 47-20. However, if you've watched football for more than 1 or 2 years, then you fully understand that every now and then a team will have a game where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And this game was that game for the Tennessee Vols. Now, I do not believe the Vols are better, and that's not an excuse in any way. I believe Florida was going to win that game regardless. Regardless where they play, regardless how many bounces go whoever's way. But I do believe it's a 2-score game. I don't feel like they're that much better than the Vols. This was a game where everything just did not bounce the Vols' way. They had a few opportunities to really get this game close, and when the morale went, and Florida just basically piled on, and as they should, rightfully so. The one incident where the kid on the fake field goal had a touchdown, and he practically punched the ball out of his own arms. You can't blame that on a coach. That's just body awareness and those sorts of things, which hey, it happens. They did the onside kick. The kick was perfectly executed. The getting the ball, on the other hand, when you had 3 Vols right there around the ball and 1 Florida Gator comes up with the ball, now that's not acceptable. I mean, the 3 guys should have been able to get the ball. It would have been a huge boost. You heard the commentators getting all over Jeremy Pruitt, talking about there's a fine line between desperation and trying to be tricky and all these different things. They're completely off base. Look, I never want to sound like an ESPN guy. Okay, that's not my goal here. I actually have my own thoughts at the risk of being wrong, which, believe it or not, I'm right more times than not. But the guys were all over Pruitt, talking about, oh, he's desperate. Is he big enough for this job, or is he the right guy? Is it too big for him? The whole SEC, this and that. You know what? I loved him going for it on 4th downs. I loved the onside kick, the fake field goal, and he did those things because he was coaching to win the game. Okay, he was not submitting or basically saying, okay, we're just going to slow it down and keep it close. He knew to have any shot whatsoever to win this game, he had to take some risk, and he did that. I love it personally. And like I said, it's not near as bad as this game showed. Now, coming up this week against Georgia, they're completely outmatched in every way. I do not expect much. I come into this season not expecting much. I actually had no expectations. My philosophy was I'm going to support them. I'm going to support Jeremy Pruitt. And if they give me something to get excited about, then I will get excited. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy the games and support the team. I did not expect Jeremy Pruitt to come in here and sprinkle magic orange dust on these guys and all of a sudden go from a season where they had 0 SEC wins to where they're contending in the East. I fully expected this year to be a wash. I expected them to improve fundamentally, the players to develop, to learn the new system on both offense and defense. And a lot of the things I see, I actually do like, despite how ugly it looked this past Saturday against Florida. All I'm trying to say is I do not know if Jeremy Pruitt is the guy or not, but I do know 4 games is not enough to make any kind of determination on that. The guy has never been a head coach, so you can't expect him to come in knowing everything to do from day one. And he's learning. He is learning on the job. If you think they thought he was going to come in and be the perfect head coach in year one, you're mistaken. Georgia, when they brought in Kirby Smart, that first year, a lot of Georgia fans wanted him gone. Jared Stillman on 104.5 out of Nashville, he said he's not sold on Jeremy Pruitt. Well, I wonder what Kirby Smart. I wonder what he thinks about Kirby Smart now. They knew it was a 2 to 3 year development process, just like Tennessee knows it's a 2 to 3 development process for Jeremy Pruitt. Now, sure, like Kirby Smart in year 2, we would love for Tennessee to be at that spot in year 2. But now we got to contend with Georgia, and Kentucky's looking really good. That's going to improve their recruiting. So, it's just a waiting game. You got to be patient. I know it sucks. As a Tennessee fan, growing up in the 90s when we were just absolutely amazing when it comes to talent. If you don't believe me, go back and watch full games on YouTube from 95 up to about 2000, 2002 or so, and just look at the talent difference. And we're talking about going on a 20-year gap, 15 to 20-year gap, whereas athletes tend to get better as the years go on. Well, look at how good athletes Tennessee had in that time frame compared to what they got now. The athletic level is completely different. So all I'm saying is don't rush to judgment on Jeremy Pruitt right now. Give the guy time. Wait and see what they look like at the end of the year. And, and then give him another off season. Give him another recruiting season. He's got some great recruits coming in. Hopefully he can hold on to some of these guys. I know a lot of times when the games do not look, or the team doesn't look great, some recruits will change their mind. They think it's way too big of a rebuild process. But at any rate, this guy deserves at least 2 years before people start saying, oh, he's not the guy. Like I said, I don't know if he is, but I don't know if he's not. Just wait and see what happens. He seems to have the right demeanor. He seems to be serious. He shows some emotion. I disagree with the commentators. Oh, we don't know these guys yet. He shouldn't be screaming and yelling. You know what? I mean, this isn't a preschool. I mean, these guys, they're kids, but they're men, okay? There's guys who are in war at this age. They can handle some yelling. If they can't, maybe they're not right for the team in the first place. But, guys, just if you're a VOLS fan, just stay patient. I know you've heard this before, but you know what? It is what it is. Whether you're patient or not, it's gonna take its due process. I'm not one of these people who say it's going to be at least 3 years. I don't know how long it's going to take. All I know is control your expectations and just wait and see what Jeremy Pruitt does. Trust the guy and don't have any expectations right now. Just support Jeremy Pruitt, support the team, and be a good fan, because you know what? If you're not, you're just going to be miserable. You go into this Georgia week expecting a miracle, then you could find yourself disappointed. Now, is it possible Tennessee could win this game? Sure. I mean, you could beat any team any given week, but at this point, it's fair to say that it would be unlikely. Having said that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just trying to put a little bit of perspective on Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt, and the situation that is in Knoxville at this moment. Now, I hope everyone enjoys the weekend, enjoy the football coming up, and I'll do my best to get a video up next week. I'm not sure when I'll have internet, so it may be a little while. So at any rate, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let's get a discussion going on it, guys. At any rate, this is Coach Carroll with Sports Banner 38, and we are out.